Salute to all the Patreon members. I want to thank you guys for your support and your contribution made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. For those that are tuning in, if you could do me a favor, please check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page and the Facebook page. Also, if you're a new viewer, I want to thank you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button, share this video, leave a comment in the comment section below, share this video, and come join other like-minded travelers who share photos, videos, and content on the Facebook page. All right. So I want to talk about this guy right here. I need to change the title because I said Passport Bro YouTuber, Young Philly. I should have said British YouTuber. All right. This man was arrested for the R word and essaying somebody in Australia. I guess he flew all the way to Australia. He had a performance, and sometime during his stay in Australia, I think it was in Perth, if I'm not mistaken. But this man met up with some woman, and there's rumors going around that it was a sex worker slash stripper. I don't know how true that is, so I don't want to put that out there. I don't want to put any false information out there. That's just what's been floating around. But this man right here was arrested and charged. Well, I don't know if he's been charged yet. All right. But he's been arrested. He hasn't gone to trial yet. So I'll just say he's been arrested for essay and grape. All right, we're going to read this article, and I'm going to give my 2 cents. All right. So this is a British YouTuber. I'm going to be honest. Anybody black from the UK, I don't really follow them on social media. No disrespect. It's something about a black person with a British accent. I just can't get over it. It's still it still throws me off to this day. Like if you got a British accent, like I'll follow you if you in movies where it's about wizardry, or if you a secret agent and you British, man, I F with you the long way. But if you black with a British accent, I don't know what it is, man. That's something I'll never get used to. It just throws me off, and I just can't listen to that. A white dude, there's a couple white guys that are British that I follow on YouTube, but a black dude with a British accent, it just throws me off. So this young Philly guy, before I get into this article, Fresh and Fit, they were talking about him. And not Myron, but Fresh, Walter, whatever his name is. He was talking about him, how he went to the club with Young Philly, and Fresh, he had a girl with him, and Young Philly was trying to take the girl that was with Fresh, but not only trying to holler at her, but like grabbing her and like yanking her arm and really getting kind of aggressive with her. That from his words. I'm paraphrasing what he said. And they saying that this arrest, they're not shocked behind it because, quote unquote, everybody knows how he is with women. I don't know what that means. These are rumors. It could be hate. I don't know. But I know Fresh and Fit says, well, Fresh says that he's not surprised that this man got arrested because of his experience. And when a guy tried to take the girl from him, when Young Philly tried to take Walter or Fresh's girl, she went with him for a little bit, but then when she got away from him, she went back with Fresh and Fresh said, I thought you was going back to the hotel with him. She was like, nah, I don't want to go back to the hotel with him. Like, I'm trying to go back with you. I just kind of said what I needed to say so I could kind of go along just to get away from him because he was kind of pushy and aggressive a little bit. So I don't know. That's what they said. And there's been rumors floating around that this guy seems to be a little bit pushy with the ladies. On his YouTube page, he does like skits. I wouldn't say pranks, but he does skits. He does music. His music isn't that bad. Um, that island style of British R&B pop. It's not that bad. What else about do I want to say about this guy? He's from the UK, but he was born in Colombia. So he's actually a Colombian that moved to the UK when he was a kid and grew up in the UK. So let me read what this article has to say, and then I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it, just from what I read, because I don't know this guy. I really want to give my 2 cents and tell you what I think happened or what may have happened. I don't know. So UK rapper Young Philly has been dropped by another major brand after he was charged with rape and assault. Philly, whose real name is Andres Felipe Valencia Barrientos, has been banned from leaving Australia as cops investigate allegations he raped and physically abused a woman in her 20s last month. This is his picture right here. Some of the videos, I watched some of his videos, and he kind of reminds me of Guy Smiley. Y'all know who Guy Smiley is? Look at this face right here. Okay. Hold on. Some of y'all don't know who Guy Smiley is. You see this picture right here with his mouth wide open? All right. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. I'm gonna show you Guy Smiley. I used to watch him as a kid. This is what he looked like. He looked just like him. Mouth wide open. Right. I'm like, I'm not hating. I don't know his content like that. But I don't know, for whatever reason, when I see him, he looked like Guy Smiley. All right. So let me get back to the article. Mouth wide open like Guy Smiley. All right. That's him right there on the right. So this is him. Food Asylum have suspended their contract with Young Philly over the rape and abuse allegations. Philly was first seen working with Food Asylum back in January 2018 for their YouTube channel. What is Food Asylum? I guess Food Asylum might be, is it like Foot Locker or Champs? All right, so I'm looking at it right now. It seems like it's a popular sneaker store over in the UK, right? Looks kind of fly on the inside. They have like a green, black, and white color wave. It's not that bad. Okay. Philly being arrested in Australia after being accused of abuse and rape. Okay. The YouTuber and music star, 29 years old, has already been dropped by several brands and companies since he was detained, including the Football Association, Heinz, and ASOS. So seemed like brands was putting up big money. They was attaching themselves to this guy. I mean, his subscriber count is almost at 2 million. He's at about 1.9 million subscribers. So I mean, this dude is kind of a big deal. And I saw a couple of his thumbnails on his YouTube channel. He would do collabs with like Mr. Beast and Kai Cenat and what's his name? I Show Speed. So he's kind of a big deal and known. All right. With clothing and shoe brand Foot Asylum being the latest to cut ties with the Colombian-born personality. Philly was a regular host and face of the Foot Asylum YouTube channel after making his first appearance all the way back in 2018. So it's like you making money off your channel. People are paying you to attach their brands to your platform, and they're inviting you over to their platform and paying you to be a spokesperson for their products. He regularly went viral online for his comedic takes and shows such as Does the Shoe Fit, Homeschooled, and Truth Asylum. So I'm pretty sure this is British programming, because I've never heard of it. All right. The channel was a hub of content in recent years, with Philly spearheading its success alongside his YouTube pals, Chunks, Darkest Man. I'm guessing Darkest Man is a dark-skinned man. That's a real weird nickname to give yourself. Nella Rose and Harry Pinero. It managed to gain over 2.8 million subscribers, with Philly even appearing in the first ever video still active online. All right, I want to get to the case. Cops investigating Young Philly say they have an extremely strong case that includes CCTV footage of the social media star on the night of the alleged offenses. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. You probably have video footage of him going through the hotel and the elevator, but inside the room, there are no cameras inside the room, right? I mean, besides phones, that are constantly listening to you. Detectives from Western Australia Police's SA squad charged Philly with 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent. He is also accused of 3 counts of assault and 1 count of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. All right, so these charges, it sounds crazy when they use those vocabulary words. And I'm not standing up for a guy. If he did it, he's a piece of shit, and he should get arrested and stay arrested. All right, but I want to look at this at a different angle, and I want to teach you guys something, especially all my guys with passports. You're traveling. I mentioned this in a much older, well, not an older, but a live stream I did earlier this year, right? But I want you to remember this part right here. The YouTuber and rapper was arrested and taken into custody in Brisbane on Tuesday before being transferred to Perth a day later. He was then hauled in front of a Perth court, where the prosecution told the court the allegation victim's body is marked by a history of violent acts. Okay. The 29-year-old was bailed following his first court hearing after stumping up 100,000 Australian dollars, so 51,000 pounds. What is that, like 60, 70,000 US dollars for bail? He's banned from leaving the state and must also report to Perth Police Station in Northbridge regularly. Philly's defense lawyer argued the victim was drunk at the time of the alleged ordeal on September 28th. Channel 9 reported a glum Philly profile. He wore a dark baseball cap, yada, yada, yada. These are some more pictures of him. This is when he performed that night. Okay, he remained inside for just 5 minutes before leaving and once again refusing to speak to the journalist waiting outside. Giving nature of social media, nature of people jumping on bandwagons, given the nature of the, I don't, okay, cutting ties. We already talked about this. A couple of shows are getting dropped. And then they go into his bio. Who is he? Things of that nature. Okay. So I want to focus on this part right here. This. What he's accused of. All right. I want to focus on that. Detectives from Western Australia Police's SA squad charged Philly with 4 counts of SA sexual penetration without consent. He's also accused of 3 counts of assault and 1 count of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. Okay, so if we're gonna go by what Fresh says on Fresh and Fit, then there might be some credence to it. I don't know, or it could just be hating because the dude tried to take his girl, and he was a little bit more straightforward than him. Me personally, man, uh, I don't really hang out with people who aren't American because it's not. I'm not trying to sound rude or disrespectful. I just don't know how y'all get down where y'all from. All right. Sometimes when you bring people around from other countries, they do get a little bit more aggressive with the women. You know, you hang out with people from Russia, the Ukraine, India, right? Eastern Europe, Africa, the Caribbean. I've seen some guys from these countries that are pretty aggressive towards women. And if they aren't showing cooperation, you know, they wear their emotions on their sleeve. They get upset. They get angry. I remember one time, one of my homies, right? He was shooting a music video. He's from the Midwest in America. He was shooting a music videos for these dudes in Canada. And the manager was like, now actually, they're from Canada, but he was shooting a music video for them in Atlanta, right? So one of the rapper is like Trinidadian, and the manager is like East African, or the investor, I should say. And so when the women showed up, they were making a request, and the manager slash investor started getting angry. Like none of the Americans on set at this video shoot were tripping. But the East African manager was like, with a heavy accent, was like, man, what the fuck? Like, shut up, change into this right here, put this on, change into this, right? Change into this bikini, put this on, and get on set. And my homie said, man, the hoes left. Like all the hoes got scared and angry and they left. Right? He was like, man, I ain't never seen somebody clear out that many women like that. Right? I ain't never seen somebody make just all the hoes want to leave like that. Right? And we both are talking about how, they're Canadian slash African slash Caribbean. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. Fresh, going off what he said, I don't know. But reading this, this guy might be a little bit pushy with the women. I don't know, right? You have the success, you have all these subscribers. Man, people who are popular in the public eye, a lot of these guys aren't really that good with women, right? Especially in the music industry. A lot of these guys are some of the biggest simps you ever want to meet in your life. And it's kind of like when it gets to a point when you're going to have to, you know, uh, speak with finesse, right? Um, when you're gonna have to polish your game and present it in a way to where women are attracted to you. Most entertainers, they probably didn't, ever have to practice that or work on their craft as far as building attraction with women because their talent or their skills as far as public speaking or entertainment always drew a crowd in. They were just very popular. You see what I'm saying? A singer, a rapper, or whatever. If you've been singing this long, it's like, okay, all I had to do was sing and women would come my way. But what happens when you actually dealing with somebody you really like and she likes your singing, but she's not really impressed by that? That's not enough to get her to want to be with you, whether it's short term or long term. You know, when the singing doesn't work, it's kind of like, well, damn, I guess I'm gonna have to use my personality, and your personality to that person might suck. So when you get rejected, which is something, as an adult, when an entertainer hasn't experienced that, some people lash out. Some of these guys, they don't know how to deal with that. And that's the worst thing you could go through is rejection, as an adult. You should be experiencing rejection as a kid, elementary school, middle school, high school, so that you build up a tolerance for it. So when you do get rejected as an adult, it really doesn't bother you, right? That's why women, there's some of the the worst group of people on earth to experience rejection, because a lot of them don't really ever experience rejection, especially if they're cute, or they'll never in life experience it. And when they do experience it in their 20s, 30s, 40s, oh man, they can't take it, right? So, but back to this. It says right here he's also accused of 3 counts of assault, 1 count of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck. Okay, this is what I want to get to. It sounds like to me this guy, because just because a woman comes to your hotel doesn't mean that gives you the right to try to have sex with her. That doesn't mean that. Let me rephrase that. Just because a woman comes to your hotel, even if it's at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, does not mean that she's coming there to have sex with you. All right. That doesn't mean anything. In most people's minds, yes, you could put one, you add 1 + 1, it usually equals 2. But, you know, there are those times when, you know, you might feel like, hey, in a situation like that, 75, 80% of the time this happens, but there's always that 20. There's always that 20%, 25% of the time where it does not happen. And that doesn't mean you should think, it doesn't give you the right to think that you can't have sex with this person, right? But nowhere in this article where it says this woman was taken to a hotel against her will. All right. Um, some people are saying that, I think in the article it mentioned that she was drunk. Is that what they said? Right? Sounds like to me this dude went to a different country, met a woman, right? Took her back to the hotel, and they got it in. It seemed like, sex got a little bit too wild. Like the way you having sex back at home, you can't be doing all that when you first meet with some of these women, right? And then there's women out to get you. You have almost 2 million subscribers. You kind of have to watch how you move, and sometimes you're gonna have to, get plugged in with the local mama san, or some dude that's running a bunny ranch who's these women that, you know they send these women to high profile people, right? Sounds like to me it's another case of a black man who doesn't like paying, who don't like paying, and you try to pull a woman off the strength, off GP, just shooting from the hip in the club, right? Not realizing who you are. You have a fan base in Australia, which, I'm pretty sure that's why you went over there, because you looked at your analytics and were like, hey, damn, I have a large following in Australia. Let me perform over there. So you got fans over there, and then you got these women over there that are looking for a come up. They're looking for attention, or you just really a sick fuck like that, right? So either you a sick fuck and you need to stay in jail, or number two, you don't pull out that bag of tricks with a woman when you first having sex with a woman. You know what I'm saying? You don't do all that, because The impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to the neck. Basically, man, it's a guy who put his hand around her neck while he's hitting it from the front, right? Or he might be grabbing her neck from the back while he's hitting it from the back, right? Women like being choked, right? But a woman, you do that with a woman you're with, and you don't assume that you could just do that while having sex with a woman that you just met the first time. You kind of have to ask if it's okay. You got to walk them through and be like, hey, look, uh, sometimes I get a little bit, rough. It's like, are you okay with rough sex, or you just not in the mood for that tonight? You kind of have to run that through a woman first when you first meet them, right? In the beginning, when you meet a woman, you can, hit it hard, but you can't be doing the spitting and the slapping and the choking and the body slamming, and the whipping. Like you have to know that person and have a conversation with that person before you do that. You don't just go full blown beast mode, animalistic mode in the bedroom with a woman you just met. That seemed like that's what happened from what I'm reading right here. You got to tone it down. And you know what? It was just after you, because I'm seeing on the internet, they got this woman's name, they got her picture, and they said that she tried to set up Bryson Tiller the same way when he came to Australia and performed. And she's kind of known for setting up guys. I don't know. It's all alleged. So, I'm not going to hang my hat on what people on social media are saying behind that. Right. But if that is true, it sucks because of alleged false allegations. If it is false, because of alleged false allegations, it's like, man, companies don't want to hear it. This is, and it's unfortunate because there's nothing wrong with dating. There's nothing wrong with having fun, right? But if you're somebody of notoriety, you have to find somebody you're solid with and get married. Your money you're going to lose your money either way. I wish we weren't living in times where we have to look over our shoulder and it seems like, okay, damn, we just gonna have to stay celibate for life. Because look at Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat, I think it was a rumor going around that he paid a woman about 5 figures to kind of sleep with her, or 4 or 5 figures to sleep with her and just go on about her way. And I think she ran on the internet bragging about it, shaming him for it. Right? I remember, who was that one chick back in the day? Jenna. I forgot Jenna's last name. Jenna something. She messed around with a bunch of rappers and athletes. I remember James Harden, I guess, allegedly paid her $20,000 to, like, okay, we'll link up. I hit it. I'll pay you this enough to, like, keep you quiet and, thank you for your services. Man, that chick went straight to the internet and said, hey, thank you, James Harden, for the $20,000 you spent for the night and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, Jenna Shea, that's her name. So it's like, you damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You a high profile man, the thing you should be doing is paying for a woman's services who's under control of, under a street team, under control of a street team that's managing these women. See, that's the whole thing about, dealing with pimps. You see what I'm saying? When a woman got a pimp and she's offering her services for the night, best believe your business might not get out there out in the street unless the pimp puts it out there. Because I got a homie who's well, you know, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's just say I know somebody who was in a relationship with a woman, and I'll just say, you know, sometimes certain celebrities would, you know, they liked his girl. He's like, hey, yeah, you know, you can hang out with her. I'll just put it that way. And you never heard her business out there in the street like that, right? Because she was being managed. You got these renegades out here that you hook up with, and they feel like, well, shit, I thought he was gonna pay me more, or he didn't pay me at all, or he's cheap, or this, that, and the third. Man, it's her word against yours, right? But if we want to focus on this part right here in the article, brothers, this is a lesson to be learned. You can't be doing all that acrobatic kung fu shit, wax on, wax off, Bruce Leroy type shit in the bedroom. You know, you can't be doing that UFC shit in the bedroom with a woman the first time you having sex with her and you just met her. You have to have a conversation, or you kind of have to know her. Impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation. Man, the man was just choking a woman while he was having sex with her. Something that all women like, you know, from a guy that they like. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. This dude, he must have been, you know. And then when you put your hand around a neck, you have a firm grasp of it. You know, just put your hand around the neck, but you know, be firm. But it sounded like this motherfucker was like squeezing it. It sounded like this chick couldn't even breathe. Like she was trying to say something and she couldn't say it because he was squeezing her neck too hard. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. Hey man, you doing too much. you doing too much. And that's what I'm hearing from Fresh on Fresh and Fit. He said you doing too much. The girl said you doing too much. Now you stuck in Australia and you losing your money and endorsements left and right. And things will never be the same. Right? So hopefully that was a lesson to be learned. And black men, man, get that. You know, I would have to agree with Kevin Samuels. We gonna have to get the term tricking out of our vocabulary. We're gonna have to remove that, right? Women are posting everything, your every move. I remember one time, one of my exes, like when we were in the beginning stages of dating, right? Uh, you know, thinking it for like I think like 2 months at this time, right? And then I never thought to add her on Facebook or whatever, but she just, you know, there was a friend request. I'm like, oh, it's a girl I'm talking to. I go on her page, right? She adds me. This is years ago. This is back when I was heavily on Facebook. I look on her page, I go through her photos. She got like a bunch of hidden pictures of me on there. I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? She's like, it's you and us. And I'm like, man, you ain't never took a picture. We ain't never took a picture together under my consent. You know what I'm saying? You sneaking all these pictures of me. She got the back of my ear, and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, so every little move you make with these women, they got it documented. You know, they put it in their phone. They could upload anything at the drop of a hat if they feel like it. You know, they doing Snapchats about you, they tweeting about you, they changing their posts about you, right? They sending subliminal messages to that dude lurking in the corner about you, giving updated status, like, oh, there's seem to be going down south between them two. You know, I'm gonna come through and console her, see if everything is okay. You got to be careful, man. Sometimes it's best to link up with somebody who's being managed by somebody, paying the money and keeping it moving. Because you just can't be a single man out here traveling, handling your business, picking up a bag, and having your fun. You can't do that. They either gotta talk about you, they gotta latch themselves onto you somehow, right? They know, okay, damn, just hooking up and moving, that don't get me nowhere. That doesn't put me on nowhere. Even if I tell people that we hooked up, you know, some people say you're delusional or whatever, and you're lying. So a way of attention is like putting false allegations on somebody in order to come up, right? On some reality TV show, get your following up, and then people will actually say, well, damn, she did pull him. You know, it's a demonic way of getting attention. If that is, I don't know this guy. If he did it, fuck him. Right? Guys, take care. Hopefully, you guys watch the rebroadcast. Share this video. Check out the links in the description box below. Take care. Peace.